First opened way back in 1924, but renovated in 2002. There's a look inside venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. Today, Week 17 is upon us, and we've got a good one in store here, as it'll be the Carolina Panthers taking on the Chicago Bears. On the visitors' sideline, their head coach. His team 5 wins over their last 7 games. On the other side, the head coach of the Bears, Ben Johnson. His guys won't have to worry about traveling come playoff time. It's a great thing. They've already clinched the #1 seed in the NFC. Here's Cairo Santos now, ready to get this one started. And off we go from Soldier Field. And this one definitely not in the landing zone. In fact, it's over the back line. So this is going to come out to the 35. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. And trotting out there leading them is their 4th-year quarterback.
We're seeing it more and more in this league, how teams love to have athletes back there taking the snaps, guys who can throw it and move around and get yards with their legs if needed. He's one of the best examples that we see out there right now. He can throw for hundreds of yards one week and then run for 100+ the next. He adds an extra dimension that really confounds defenses when he puts it all together.
And right away, he lost the football. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. 19 yards the pick up there. Move the chains. That's his first catch of the game, and an impressive one against multiple defenders.
And how about that start? Really aggressive. Yeah, there was double coverage out there, but that didn't stop them at all. They went right at it and defeated it on that play.
And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Young. Looking downfield, and that's caught right side. He's got his man. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 25-yard line.
Execution was one of their watchwords leading up to this one. And on that play, able to execute brilliantly here on this opening drive.
They run here with Rico Dowdle. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23. The numbers for him from a week ago. 15 carries, 62 yards.
And when he went over 1,000 yards last week, you know what it did for their offense? It gave them a true identity because everyone's going to talk about this. The offensive line's going to take pride in it. Of course, the guy carrying the football will. But how about the coaching staff? When they go in and talk contracts, when they talk to reporters, hey, we had a 1,000-yard rusher this year. That means something in today's NFL.
So that'll get them to first down as they get 9 yards out of that quick slant. Well, whatever script they put together for this offensive drive, Charles, seems to be working. I'm curious to see if this defense will make any adjustments here.
Things certainly going according to plan, aren't they? I mean, the way they're advancing the football, it's like they're on the practice field having one of their better days. But instead, it's game day, and they're moving the ball downfield with purpose.
Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. A free safety roaming all the way up to the line of scrimmage to make that stop.
How about his ability to trust his eyes and figure out it was not a pass play and go fast towards the line of scrimmage in order to make that tackle.
Down. 40.
Throwing. Young. Got a man. That's Leauge. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal.
A lot of precision being shown on this opening drive. They've been methodical, they've been crisp, and as a reward, they're going to be set up with an early 1st and goal.
1st and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road.
Ready. Black.
Dowdle will struggle to get to the line of scrimmage as he'll be tackled back at the 4-yard line. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. If you're going to run against this unit, especially down here, just beware. I mean, they're the top rushing defense in the league.
Yeah, and then they go ahead and they double down with the whole thing because you think, okay, let's throw the ball. Oh, yeah, that's right. They defend the pass pretty well, too. Very difficult task right now.
And he is going to lose yardage here. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal.
Set. Ready.
Young to throw it. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. That sack brings up 4th and goal, a loss of 7. Big play.
We always talk about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. On 4th down on is Ryan Fitzgerald for the Carolina field goal. And this one will be a 29-yard attempt. And his kick is good. And the Panthers stay claim to a 3-0 lead. I think we can safely say they came out to be aggressive on the opening series, Charles. They didn't run the ball once. All that passing, it does get them the 3-0 lead.
I think what we saw there, partner, was a true definition of football balance, which means doing what you want to, when you want to on offense. And in this case, it was throwing the football. They may mix in running the football a little bit more as this game goes on. But his opening drive, while it stalled out, it still gave him 3 points.
So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. And a glance here at their shifty mobile signal caller.
And his stat line last week, that's not going to get him to the Pro Bowl. All right, no touchdowns, no interceptions, but they won. And so the bottom line for him is team won, managed the game effectively, led them to victory. He's doing all the right things.
This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards. This running game so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
1st down, and they go with Swift again. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 22 more yards there and another 1st down.
Good, strong, explosive run that started inside, which means you've got to control those defensive linemen, the defensive tackles, the nose guards. Those guys have to be controlled. How about the offensive line, the job they just did?
Yeah, key that A-gap usually on those runs, right?
That's where it all starts because everyone wants to kind of control that area. It disrupts things from the defensive side and the offensive side. As we just saw, it opens up possibilities.
We'll get this into the hands of the Doom Zone. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards. With that grab, he now sits at 200 for his career, and maybe more importantly, a 1st down.
What is that? We got Biggie Frosty! Biggie Frosty! Biggie Frosty!
And he's got his man in stride, complete. That's good for a gain of 6, 2nd and goal.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and goal at the Panthers' 3-yard line.
To throw, it's Williams. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Now Now we got 3rd and goal coming up, and couldn't you imagine being in that huddle, partner? You know they're looking at each other saying, we can't come away with just 3 points after this drive.
Yeah, they've covered a lot of ground. They want more than that 3. They'll look to throw for it with Williams. Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. A great effort there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Bears have answered that early field goal to take a first-quarter lead. But down here, I thought they were going to hand that off. Instead, a well-designed play and the pitch and catch for the touchdown.
And I wonder who came up with it. Was it a call from the bench? Did the quarterback have a good idea and suggest it? In any event, clearly an effective play call. They saw something they liked in coverage, and they targeted it for the short yardage throw.
And the perfect way to cap their opening drive. Now the try here for the point after. He's got it. They'll see that opening drive field goal and raise it a touchdown, and that makes it 7-3. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Panthers offense and their quarterback coming out for their second drive. And he's been a real threat in the red zone and beyond. As you take a look at the NFL leaders in rushing touchdowns by a QB, you'll notice he's worked his way into the top 5 at this point of the season. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go.
Let's go.
And, Charles, you look at these two teams, and these are those kind of litmus test games in the second half of the season that if you're a coach or a player, you can either really look forward to them or really dread them, depending on your point of view.
And if you're dreading them, you're not going to go very far in the playoffs. You need to look forward to these kind of games because here we've got 2 division leaders, both real contenders for the NFC title. And you're right, you'll love having easy games on your schedule, but you need some games like this to toughen you up a bit and ensure that you're ready for the shock of playoff football.
You look at this Bears defense. They played extremely well last week in that win over the Packers.
And they needed to be because that game was a game you don't see very often anymore. Low scoring, slugging it out in the trenches. One play can make the difference type of a game, and they got it done.
Young will set to throw. To the left side, he's got McMillan. And he can only manage to take the football to the 40, and that is well shy of the first down marker. Jake Bailey on now to punt here on 4th down. Back deep, Khalif Raymond. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. This is brought in at the 21. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Back in Chicago, ready for the second quarter. It's the Bears in possession as they get set to start their drive with a 1st and 10. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And they, as mentioned, unbeaten to this point in the year, but you think this game, their toughest test yet.
I absolutely do, because to me, this is a good measuring stick game because they've been able to take advantage of the schedule. But here, this is another team leading its division with an eye on making a Super Bowl run, so this game is crucial.
Well, he stopped immediately there. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9.
Vegas! What is it on? Here we go.
They'll go play action here with Williams. And this one is incomplete.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
Here's Williams. And that will be incomplete. They weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Trevin Wallace there defensively.
And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Fair catch called. It's taken in right at the 20-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10.
Ready, set.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that can put your team in some jeopardy?
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24.
Striker, 3-3.
To throw, Young. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Multiple players getting home there, and it's a loss of 2 on the sack.
They're in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest with a guy with that type of speed. You do so. Send him deep. Try to throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
And the punter Bailey on now as he sends this one away. And it's fielded at the 34. 42-yard punt, 6 on the return. And the Bears take over. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Looking to throw is Williams. And that's out to the flat for Swift. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a 1st down.
First down.
What is up?
1st and 10 at the 47-yard line.
To throw, Williams. This will be incomplete. Oh, a dream chance for a D lineman, but he couldn't pull that one in.
Well, he did almost everything right. Excellent coverage, breaks on the football, just unable to haul it in and take it the other way, so he dropped an interception. The key for him now, don't dwell on it, just move on to the next play.
Throwing is Williams. Pass complete to Adunzo. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 32-yard line. 15 yards there for number 15.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Throwing again here, Williams. He'll drop this one off to Swift. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
Well, he was a busy man out of the backfield a week ago. They got the ball early and often. I have no doubt in my mind that he'll be a big part of the game plan here as well.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. To the air, Williams. And he'll get this into the hands of Swift once again. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Back to throw again. And he's got it. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. DeAndre Swift with touchdown number 23 here on the year. And the Bears are able to stretch out their lead. CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. Extra point right down the middle. And that pushes the lead up to 11. A drive that time of 6 plays. And it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Panthers now set to take over offensively. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. Looking middle, and he finds McMillan. 2nd down and 8.
A gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 8 at the 37.
Now Young. To the right side, hauled in by McMillan. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield.
And the Panthers first down. 1st and 10 at the 49.
Looking to throw, Young. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And this is incomplete. Oh, he had 6 points right in his hands, but could not hang on.
Well, 2 good plays on this one, Brandon. The first one at the quarterback because the pressure affected his throw, and I think it forced him to throw away from his designated target. And how about the second bit of pressure downfield? Receiver going up for the pass, help him force that incompletion.
Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
Ready. Blue 30.
Young to throw it. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
Young to throw on 4th. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. And the Panthers turned away on 4th down. And this defense is going to get the football back near midfield, right at the 48. The Bears offense and running back DeAndre Swift headed back onto the field. And you can see he's closing in on a rushing title, the league leader coming into the penultimate week of the season. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And, partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. Now Williams operating from the gun. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 15 yards there for number 15. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Throw left side complete. That's Walker. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
To the air once more, Williams. That's complete to Swift out of the backfield. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. Second and 4. They could still get a first down without scoring.
Yes. Travel.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And it is caught. Touchdown, Bears. Colston Loveland with an amazing diving catch. And the Bears will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there. Unable to do so, that makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Extra point attempt here still to come. And it's 21-3. That time a 6-play drive. And the end result is a Bears touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Panther offense going to see the ball one more time in this first half. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Young. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Shamar Turner in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. We're backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. Young. Under pressure, and they got to him again. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. On is Jake Bailey to send this one away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This is taken at the 23. That'll be a 47-yard punt, officially 5 on the return. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Our trip across the NFL starts now. In Santa Clara, the Niners at home for an NFC West battle with the Seattle Seahawks. And it's the man who spent 2023 with San Francisco, Sam Darnold. A 4-yard touchdown pass in the box score. The Seahawks get back to 500 at 8-8. They get the victory here in Week 17. From there, why don't we go to South Philly? Look in on the Eagles as they're hosting the Dallas Cowboys. And here he goes. It's Saquon. He's going to get the carry here, and look at him go. The Eagles would go on to a 12-point victory. One more to bring you, and it's from the nation's capital. It's the Commanders hosting the Jacksonville Jags. And this is Luke Schoonmaker. A deep shot downfield, and he's right there to look it in, and they're not gonna get him. 75 yards this one goes. The catch and run for the score. The Jaguars have no problems in this one. They get it done in blowout fashion. With that, let's give you a look here at the current playoff picture. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been back and forth to this point. No reason to expect anything different in the second half as we get you back out to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
Looking to put a drive together.
What is up?
Throwing to start the drive. Williams. So a completion good for 6 yards. And it's second down.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4 at the 32-yard line.
LeBron, stand left. Go.
This is Swift on the counter. And they'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 73 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
First and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Vegas!
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. He'll get this off to Swift. Will go down as a gain of 6, and that'll make it second down.
It's a pickup of 6. Brings up second and 4 at the Panthers' 41-yard line.
From the gun, here's Williams. Over the middle, that's to Loveland, the tight end. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 26. 15 yards there on the catch and run. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
To throw, it's Williams. There's a short one caught by Loveland. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Right back to him for 10 more and a first.
That's another Bears first down. First and 10 at the 16-yard line.
They'll run with the Rutgers man, Kyle Monongai. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up second and 5.
Second and 5 at the 11-yard line.
What is up? Watch out.
They go back to the ground, this time Swift. And the Bears are going to be set up with a first and goal as good running gets them down to about the 4-yard line.
Bears first down. First and goal at the 4-yard line.
Yes. What is up? Touchdown. Vegas. Yes. Bravo. Yes.
Back to throw. Williams. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Colston Loveland with his second TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Bears take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. A partner, he has carried them in this ball game throwing the football. All 4 touchdowns through the air, and that's really helped them get this nice lead.
And I know it's a team game, but right now, he is truly the focal point. Every touchdown his team has so far has been the result of his arm. How about him throwing it downfield, creating big plays? I don't know how you slow him down unless you can make him uncomfortable in the pocket.
And there's going to be a stoppage here. The booth wants to take another look at this potential touchdown. Is this a touchdown? That's the question. CD, what are they looking for here?
You just need any part of the football to break the plane. You don't need the whole football. It doesn't need to go over the entire white line. It's just that front part of the white line. And if you draw an imaginary plane going straight up, that's what they need to cross.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Extra point splits the uprights, and they open the lead up now to 25. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds, so really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line. Well, not one you see often there as he fails to keep it between the sidelines, and that is a penalty every time, and going to give this offense better field position.
And it's every kickoff guy's nightmare, isn't it? Because you don't see yourself doing this, and most of the time you don't. It's absolutely a mishit, and now your team pays the price. Bad field position for your defense. And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
We're glad you're with us from Soldier Field in Chicago. Third quarter here, 2nd and 10.
Black 40. Cut.
From the shotgun, it's Young. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential. But when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
And a quick shuffle pass here is complete. And he is going to have a Panthers first down. They needed 3. He doubled that. He got 6.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him.
Touchdown, Carolina! Christian Kirk, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Panthers are able to cut into that deficit. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is down to 28-10. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And Carolina scores to cap it off. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Bears offense and their running back getting set for this next possession. And he's been a huge factor in the passing game all season long. His numbers reflect that. Currently leads all NFL running backs in receiving yards. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Still operating with a comfortable lead despite the score a moment ago as they begin 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Swift. And it pushes right forward to about the 32. 86 yards rushing for him in this one as he starts to draw nearer to a 1,500-yard campaign. Right back to Swift again on 2nd down. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That good for 19 and a first down.
That's good for a Bears first down. 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
From the shotgun, a throw for Williams. And that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground incomplete.
Brings up 2nd and 10.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. There's a short one caught by Loveland. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 36.
13 yards on the play. And the Bears first down. 1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now at Soldier Field. It's Bears football here. They also have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Watch out.
They will run straight ahead with Swift. And he'll follow his blockers there all the way down to the 23-yard line.
13 more yards. 23-yard line.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. And able to fight forward inside the 15 to the 13.
10 more yards. He was brought down at the 13-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and inches.
They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. Play action. Now Williams. He'll find Swift out of the backfield. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
Holding offense.
So erase the red zone score. They'll have to dial that one up again.
And you know how difficult it is to strike in the red zone because things are a little bit more condensed. You got to go back to their play chart and see if they can dial up another one.
Here's Williams. Man over the middle, and it's complete. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Have confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and look like turtle at this point. You just go ahead and play.
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Looking to throw is Williams. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
Yeah, I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. He tried to break that plane, but couldn't get there, and that's going to leave him now at 3rd and goal. They'll look to throw forward with Williams. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
What an excellent defensive stand there in the red zone. Nice tight coverage. They certainly recognized how important it was to bring up 4th down here.
Williams going to sneak it. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. The sneak successful from a yard out. And the Bears are closing in on that 16-0 record as they add on to their lead. So definitely a good day's work throwing the football. Very good day's work. A 4th touchdown passes. They're really pouring it on.
Yeah, and so much for going into clock mode after getting that touchdown, right? Because you would think with the lead, 4th quarter, they might actually do that. No chance. They've kept attacking and got another touchdown pass as a result.
Extra point right down the middle. And they open the lead up now to 25. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it was capped off by the quarterback sneak for 6.
Santos to kick off for Chicago.
Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And this one over the back line of the end zone. Well, they definitely don't want to give him a shot at returning it. That's obvious. So the ball will come out to the 30. The possession of the football goes over to Carolina. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and then try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
A running play, it's Dowdle. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
That's another Panthers first down. A gain of 20.
Young now.
First down.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Tell you one, partner, after he ices down, he's going to be a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
And once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete.
Let's go.
Now here's Young. He's going to float this one deep right side. He's got it for a Panther touchdown. Xavier Leggett, 29 yards. And the Panthers are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. Fitzgerald now for the extra point. And that'll cut the lead down now to 18. So that drive, 4 plays. And the end result, a Panthers touchdown. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And this one won't bounce their way. It's covered up by the hands team. The risk reward of the onside kick, when you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling, and whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things. Now that they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
What is it? Blue.
Swift going to try up the middle. And a strong run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 35. 137 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game.
First and 10 at the 35-yard line.
And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column.
Hey, volunteer.
They'll stay on the ground with Swift. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
This 2nd and 4.
Let it up.
Here's a handoff to Swift. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
Ready to run.
To throw, Williams. There's a short one caught by Loveland. And he'll be stopped well short. Only 2 yards there. 4th and 3.
Excellent job there defensively. Gave up the underneath to the tight end on 3rd down, and they made sure that they did their job. Got him on the ground and prevented him picking up a 1st down.
On fourth down, here's Williams. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And they go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Fourth down, no problem. Just a ho-hum pickup of 14 to keep the offense on the field. So this drive going to continue following the conversion on fourth. Here's first and 10. Back to the running game with Swift. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. DeAndre Swift with another touchdown, number 24 on the year. As his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Well, this has been another impressive display by this undefeated team, Charles, and it looks like they're going to stay that way after this one.
Yeah, one of the league's best offenses. They stayed on brand in this contest because they continue to look good at what they do. Just added a late touchdown. Now they're really hammering home just how good they've been all year long, letting the rest of the league take notice.
Extra point splits the uprights, and they open the lead up now to 25.
Panthers 17. Santos to kick off for Chicago.
Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Carolina offense about ready to go. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, it's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
Young's incompletion on first down leads to a 2nd and 10.
Here we go, set. Blue, 32.
They'll drop the throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down. Here's Young. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. The Panthers going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. It's taken to the 26. Call that a 46-yard punt with a net of 40 on the 6-yard return. And control of the football switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And, partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for the Bears, they're a win away now from running the table here in the regular season. They moved to 16-0 on the year. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.